Hi, my name is Emily Schmidt, and I will be talking about my learning of integrating educational technology into a classroom and the importance of doing so effectively to allow student success. Today, I will be discussing the skills needed to be taught for 21st century learning, ISTE standards, both the TPACK and SAMR models, and how they guide teachers to understanding technology integration, and a checklist for using technology to benefit student learning. I wanted to begin with this quote from Dr. Mitchell Resnick, Lego Papert Professor of Learning Research at MIT's Media Lab, that says, "If we want kids to develop as creative thinkers, we need to provide them with more opportunities to create." This really made me think about how often teachers can get too focused on teaching content and not applying what we know about technology, its opportunities, and learn pedagogical strategies. This presentation will introduce how to integrate technology into a classroom and supplying some foundational understandings for teachers using researched models and frameworks as guidelines. As teachers, we are to teach students important skills they will need to succeed. Some skills that are needed, as shown in the arches, are life and career skills, innovative skills, technology skills, and the mastery of content. All of these are important to instill creativity, hard work, and motivation in students in order to be successful. Technology is an important piece of this rainbow, being the constant evolving and advancements of technology every day. This is the reason it is important for teachers to use technology in the classroom and expose students to the new ways in which they can express their learning, collaboration, and innovative talents. Assessments, instruction, professional development, and learning environments are all things that teachers need to consider when preparing for each day with students, and technology can be incorporated into each one of these. They really go hand in hand. Understanding that students need more skills than just to learn each standard is important because they need to learn so much more than that in order to succeed in the 21st century. As we continue on, I will discuss my understanding of ways teachers can use technology to benefit student learning while teaching to the standards and desired strategy of the lesson rather than having the technology take away from learning. Here we have the ISTE standards. ISTE standards are standards to promote learning skills necessary for future success. According to the ISTE standards for students, ISTE standards are designed to empower student voice and ensure that learning is a student-driven process. These standards, which include empowered learner, digital citizen, knowledge constructor, innovative designer, computational thinker, creative communicator, and global collaborator, are a guide for students to become more prepared for the 21st century. The Empowered Learner Standard involves students taking a role in demonstrating their learning using technology. I know I learn best when I am able to make that connection and take a role in my learning, so students do so obviously as well. The Digital Citizen Standard is students needing to learn their role on the internet and how to be safe. With the technology evolving and the internet playing a large role in the lives of many people, understanding how to use technology safely and effectively will greatly benefit students. The Knowledge Constructor Standard involves students having a meaningful and purposeful learning experience through creation with technology. Innovative Designer and Computational Thinker are standards that say students will problem solve, create, and develop the necessary strategies to do so. The sixth standard, Creative Communicator, says students will use technology in a variety of ways for a variety of expression purposes. Finally, the Global Collaborator Standard is very important because students need to learn how to communicate and build leadership while working in teams. When the students become adults, teamwork is a vital skill that, if taught, will allow the student great success, along with all other standards above. These can all be incorporated into content knowledge and pedagogy and should be if possible. Teaching in the internet age means we must teach tomorrow's skills today. is a quote from Jennifer Fleming, an associate professor in the Department of Journalism and Mass Communication at California State University, that is inspiring for me to think about. Teachers are teaching students whom are going to be the future, and many of their careers might not even exist yet. Preparation in their school years is vital to obtain the skills they will use in their future. Learning about and understanding how to use technology in a classroom effectively is important to allow students to have future success. Next, we will talk about two models that go hand in hand with demonstrating technology integration. What is the TPACK framework? The TPACK framework includes three areas: content, pedagogy, and technology. Content knowledge is the subject's content being taught. Pedagogy is how teaching happens, such as theory and how that is applied in a classroom. Finally, we have technology, and that is included in the Venn diagram because technology should be used to teach students the content using pedagogical approaches learned. Technology is the tools we use to incorporate into the lesson that will enhance it. Why is this model important for teachers? We need to keep in mind that what we are teaching, what pedagogical approaches we are going to take to get there, and will technology enhance the learning? All of these areas can be combined and used together to create more accessible education that will ensure all students' needs are met and find success in learning. Next, we have the SAMR model. The SAMR model is another model that demonstrates both transformations with technology integration and enhancements. Substitution is when technology substitutes for writing. It has the same goal in mind, but it replaces the technology, typically older technology to replace the new. So it's really easy to expose students to typing in a Word document or having them handwrite something, but using some other sort of more advanced technology will allow students more opportunities for group collaboration and feedback. Augmentation means that this technology aspect is quicker and more accessible. Educational tasks such as assessments are more quickly met using technology, being the task is delivered in some e-form, and the teacher could instantly respond and provide feedback. The students are able to collaborate with each other using technology as well. So many movements are automatic and saved so much easier than other forms of technology more commonly used. Next, we have modification, which is a transformation. Modification, which can consist of students collaborating and instantly giving each other feedback. Finally, we have redefinition, which is designing and creating a new task. There is so much teachers can allow their students to do with the advancements in technology. Learning content and using technology does not just need to be using an iPad to look up information. It should be used to design a task for students that involves 21st century thinking to be involved in order for them to be prepared for their futures. The possibilities are endless. Taking the step to take risks is important for teachers. Higher order thinking is something teachers thrive for when teaching their students new things, and assessing their learning and having students use technology to create can be innovative is necessary. After learning about 21st century learning skills, students need to obtain the standards that have been created to help reach these skills and the ways in which integrating technology can benefit learning. I will be talking about how to integrate in day-to-day lesson planning. When planning a lesson, the first thing to begin with is to plan the instructional goal. What do you want the students to learn? Technology might be beneficial in order to meet this goal and to help incorporate 21st century skills or ISTE standards. However, select a tool and then consider constraints. Considering constraints is important because you do not want your tool to be the main focus of the lesson. You want it to enhance the lesson and allow them to demonstrate learning using the selected technology. According to Hutchinson and Woodward, authors of Planning Cycle for Integrating Digital Technology into Literacy Instruction, it is important for teachers to consider possible constraints before implementing technology to ensure that the constraints do not overpower the instructional goal. Technology is very useful and effective if used in a way that allows students to express their ideas rather than focus solely on how it works or what it does. Finally, reflection after every lesson is important, especially when technology is used. Did the lesson go well? Did the students demonstrate understanding using the technology? Or was more time spent explaining the technology use rather than assessing learning? All of these steps are important for teachers to think about when planning to integrate technology into learning. To conclude, this quote was taken from Natasha Manchanda's blog, whom she quoted from Mitch Resnick, and says, "But until we start to think of computers more like finger paint and less like television, computers will not live up to their full potential." This really spoke to me and made me realize we have students create pictures, build towers with blocks, and paint, so why don't we do this with technology? Technology is advancing, and taking advantage of its full potential by allowing students to create with it will begin to transform learning. Technology integration is important in the classroom, and after learning about the foundational reasons why and how to do so, I am excited to begin taking risks and using technology in my own future classroom. Here's my reference page for all the references that I used throughout my presentation. Thank you.